Look at Ty in the Bronx already chiming in with a super chat. Thank you, sir. Very nice of you already. Says, morning, Big O, McDaniel, and fanboys suck, period. We got a lot. It's funny watching Barry Jackson try to report what has to happen. Like he's following the Denver game and the Cleveland game and talking about how the Dolphins need Cleveland to win. And I retweeted, this is the pathetic state of the Dolphins. It's us. Do you want to know what the pathetic state of the Dolphins fan is? We're sitting around watching a game last night and rooting for Jameis Winston not to throw 4 or 5 pick sixes and win the game in order to give the Dolphins a better chance to get in, to get embarrassed. Like, really? Is that what you're doing? Because like I did not watch the game yesterday, like at all. I think I glanced by it twice. That I was changing channels and I went to it to see what the score is, and then I left right away. I had zero interest in it. Obviously, watching the highlights and taking notes, Jameis Winston threw 2 pick sixes, which is typical Jameis. That's nothing new. When that's who he is, unfortunately. He's really easy to root for because he really doesn't mean anything bad, but damn, that's that part of his game you can't take out. But for you to be a Dolphins fan, to be now going into weekends looking at this game and wanting this team to lose and that team to win and this and that, and you forget about the most important ingredient. Your team isn't going to actually help you. Do you think the Dolphins are going to win all the games? Do you think the Dolphins are going to win both games against the Jets? I watched the game this past weekend. Miami will not win both games against the Jets. They will lose one of those too. The Jets are bad and they find ways to lose, but last time I checked, that's exactly what the Dolphins are. The team that finds ways to lose, with the coach that finds ways to lose. So I'm not sure what we're waiting for here, but I just want you to know that if that's what you're doing, man, that's pathetic. Seriously, that's pathetic. That's sad. And in the end, the ignorance on your part. First of all, you think the Dolphins are going to win all the games and you expect the other teams to either lose or win the games you need. So now you think they're going to actually help you along the way. And then, I'm sorry, are you the same person that thinks anything can happen with this team? With that coach on the sidelines? So if they get to the playoffs, somehow or another, anything can happen. You think like the Dolphins and McDaniel's all of a sudden going to start winning games, like important games and big games? Why would you think that? I get what Barry's doing. I get what writers have to do. I get what some people maybe on radio or maybe other podcasters or whatever, because Locked on Dolphins, right? They got to somehow stay somewhat positive, right? Flagship station for the Dolphins got to stay somewhat positive because they want to like kind of engage their audience, and beat writers like Barry Jackson want to keep the Dolphin fan engaged and kind of like feed them bullshit. And because a lot of you also have this disease, you need to be lied to in order to feel better, even though you're being lied to. Weird. Yeah, we'd rather not do that on the show. We'd rather tell you when the Colts lost, the season's over. Fire the coach and go hire Vrabel, and We like doing this, like, we don't screw around, Tyler Hero, if he stays healthy, trade his ass. The Heat beat writer will maybe, or radio host will tell you, well, Tyler is looking like one of those pieces, which, by the way, Tyler, you're screwing things up lately. The last couple of weeks, you played like dog shit. You haven't shot as well. You're kind of killing your value again. You're kind of going back to being Tyler Hero. We need you to, lie to people, and we need you to light it up for the next 2 months. And hopefully the Heat will be smart enough, as I digress. But anyway, we like to stay in reality here on the show. That way you're not stuck with Jimmy Butler right now. You would have traded him, in my point of view, a couple of years ago, which you would have been much better off now. But hey, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be brutally honest about what I see and what I think is happening. And playing this game of, oh my God, this team has to lose or that team has to win in order for my beloved Dolphins to get in, and you somehow have convinced yourself you forgot what team you're asking to get in. First, you want them to cooperate with you, which they're not. They're going to break your heart because that's what they do. And then by some chance, the world loses and the stars align and they trip themselves in there. Do you now expect them, like they haven't done for 30, 40 years, you expect them to all of a sudden make a run in the playoffs or something? You expect them to even win? You expect this group with that coach to win a game? Come on. So I get what Barry Jackson is doing, but I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time, and I'm not going to BS you like others will about things that are absolutely unrealistic. What a waste of time. You sat there watching that game, hoping for the Browns to win, hoping for Jameis Winston to bail you out. What kind of a loser are you?
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.